The Book of Xela and Sayith. A couple of boyhood best friends were lying down in the wilderness on the border between the land of Sayith and the land of Twixten after a long day of riding boards on sand dunes. "Hey Sayith?" asked a young black-haired 12-year-old Twixten with green eyes and green skin. "Yeah, what's up?" answered his green-eyed brunette 13-year-old Sayith friend, who was also facing the sky. Will you go up there when you die?" "Wow, that's a pretty deep question, X. But yeah, I do. The book says that you may know that you have eternal life. So yeah, we can know." A shooting star flew across the sky in the distance. "I just don't get it though. How can you be so sure? Seems to me like everything just dies." "Well, so many things in life are a matter of faith, you know. The book says that things not seen are eternal. At the end of the day, you either trust yourself, your thoughts, your emotions, your heart, or other imperfect men. These things are constantly changing. That's why I'd rather cling to the book." "Since when did you start caring about the book so much? Honestly, S, I love you, bro, but these last months, you've changed so much. You're like a different person." I know, answered Sayith with a sigh. "That's the thing, though. The book never changes, and that's why I love it. Dude, when I tried reading it, all I found were horror stories. Curses, demons, death, hell, and sins. Like, why'd the creator even bother making all these terrible things? Our first ancestor was a man who trusted the voice of a whispering enemy, even though he lived in a perfect garden. The fallen world we're living in is the consequence of that mistake. But one day, it'll be restored." "I sure hope so. Oh, thou prophet Sayith," added Xela jokingly. "Now, come on, man, don't call me that." Both of them laughed together. Another shooting star sprinted above. "You better get going, man. It's getting late," said Sayith. "Yeah, you're right. We've been out all day." The two stood up and gathered their belongings. "See you here tomorrow morning?" "Oh, for sure, X." "Fabulous. Don't forget your doom board." After a hug, Xela and Sayith said goodbye to each other and departed in two opposite directions. Sayith walked towards his family's house with his one-humped camel, Desi, while Xela went back alone to his Twixten ranch holding a sandboard under his arm. A pleasant and gentle night breeze blew in the beautiful moonlit darkness. However, when they reached their destinations, they witnessed something unexpected. Tragedy. The young Sayith's house was covered in solidified lava, whereas Xela's farm got devastated by what could have only been a tornado. On one side, the former sat down next to his camel and wept. On the other side, the latter dropped his board and frantically searched for his parents and siblings on the wrecked property amidst the debris. An eruption and a storm had devoured two homes in their sleep that day. Sayith prayed a short prayer, wiped his tears, and got back up. He decided to head over to his best friends with his animal companion. After crossing a bridge over a straight river that marked the border, he reached a point where he usually was able to see Xela's place. For a moment he worried he'd gotten lost, since he couldn't see any buildings afar. He could only rely on the stars and the moonlight to orient himself and see. As soon as he got a closer look, he realized everything was in shambles. Sayith started weeping again, fearing that he had not only lost his family, but a dear friend as well. Once he got close enough, to his relief, he spotted Xela lifting and tossing pieces of wood and metal in search of signs of his relatives. "Ah!" cried the loud Twixten, who fell on his knees with tears pouring down his cheeks. He then noticed Sayith approaching. "X!" shouted Sayith. "I was worried you. Thank goodness you're alive." "Sayith, they're all dead." "What kind of sick, twisted joke is this? My blood, all dead," lamented Xela. "I'm so sorry, X," wept Sayith, as he kneeled down to hug his buddy. "Why are you here, Sayith?" My, his voice was shaky. "My family, they're also all gone." "No, what? How? No!" A volcano, no, please, no. This can't be happening. Tell me this isn't true. Please tell me I'm dreaming. Why would the Maker allow this to happen? I don't understand. From behind, Desi placed her head down to comfort her owner and his pal. The quiet moment of grief was soon interrupted by a light muffled noise. Meow. It was the sound of a small cat in distress. Xela stood up quickly and exclaimed, Rush! He removed rubble from a heap and retrieved an adorable white and ginger baby kitten with 2 big eyes and round black pupils. Xela closed his watery eyes and hugged his cute pet. He also lost his family, sniffled Xela. Just like us, said Sayith. Man, what are we gonna do now? We got no one left. I wanna know why. Like, why? What did we do to deserve this? Asked the Twixten. His wise friend told him, I don't know. I thought you said the book says we can know. So much for that. X, I also lost loved ones today. Sorry, Sayith. I'm just... Oh, it's okay. In the book, the best man ever wept. He also got angry a few times. Well, that's who I'm mad at. What? Gasped Sayith. X, don't say that. Your stupid books made you crazy. How can't you say how cruel the Creator is? Why aren't you mad at him like me? He literally killed our innocent families while they were sleeping. There is none righteous. No, not one, answered Sayith softly with closed eyes. What? Let no man deceive himself, repeated Sayith quietly. Huh? You're utterly insane. If any man among you seemeth to be wise in this world, let him become a fool, and he may be wise. Yeah, that's what you are, an obsessed fool. The books made you sick, screamed Xela. Those words really hurt Sayith. X, what I mean is, they weren't innocent, X. None of us are. We all deserve to die and go to hell. The wages of sin is death. Shut up! Shut your mouth up! Your God's a monster. Stop, Xela. Don't say that. Why the hell should I stop? Because woe unto him that striveth with his Maker. Whatever. Screw you and your stupid verses. I need a real explanation for why this happened, and you don't got one. All you have is random quotes, and you're just an arrogant know-it-all. No, I don't know everything. Suddenly a light turned on in Sayith's mind. But I think I know where we can find answers. Xela rolled his eyes and scoffed. Let me guess, the book? Not exactly, replied Sayith. Xela calmed down a second and asked with a glimmer of hope in his eyes. Where? The sacred cave. The sacred what? Yes, the sacred cave. Where in the world is that? It's in the Land of Twixten. It's full of wise and experienced people there. Well, they better have some darn good wisdom. A trip like that is long, Sayith. So, does that mean you want to go? Asked Sayith as he looked up to his friend. Yeah, mumbled Xela passive-aggressively. I want to see what they have to say. X, are you sure the posture of your heart is right? Do you want to go there to challenge them or to learn from them? Heart posture? Man, what does it matter? My whole family's dead. How am I supposed to feel? I'm heartbroken, man. I understand. After a minute of silence, Sayith asked Xela, could I quote you one last verse? Xela grunted, but then said, Fine. The Lord is nigh unto them that are of a broken heart, and saveth such as be of a contrite spirit. After a moment of silent reflection, they noticed both their pets were fast asleep. Rosh was peacefully lying on top of Desi's hump. I guess we ought to get some sleep too, said Xela. Yes, considering our travels tomorrow. The 2 young men lied down on their backs and started stargazing. Hey, Sayith. Yeah, what's up? I'm sorry for lashing out at you like that before. I'm sorry. I'm just so sad and angry, and whispered Xela as he wept. Don't worry, bro. We may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning, okay? I forgive you, man. Thank you. And so 4 living creatures slept among the ruins that night, underneath the stars, ready for their journey ahead. After a few hours, the sun rose up from behind the dry horizon. It was a nice day out, but it felt heavy. Sayith got up and took a bottle of water from a bag Desi was carrying. He got on his knees to talk to his father above. He prayed for a long while. Then his friend finally woke up. Xela looked at him with a confused and slightly annoyed expression. Sayith, you good? Oh, hey, X. Yes, thanks for asking. He replied soberly with his eyes closed. What are you doing? Oh, I'm just praying. I started doing this every morning a couple of months ago. You want to join me? No, thanks. I'm gonna pass for now. Xela couldn't help but notice how peaceful and content his best friend looked. Envy started brewing within his heart, yet a part of him felt compelled to pray with him. Sayith, on second thought, could I join you? He asked softly. After a subtle smile, Sayith said, Please, you can even stand up if you prefer. I kneel out of respect. He told his friend and then proceeded to make supplication earnestly. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this beautiful day. Thank you for the free gift of salvation. May you protect us along our journey and guide each and every one of our steps. Please console our hearts and renew our minds with your words daily. Above all, your will be done. I ask all this in the name of your beloved. Amen. After a brief pause, he said, You feel that? That calm? Come on, X, give it a try. Okay. Dear Maker, please give us back our parents, our brothers, our sisters, our cousins, our grandparents, our aunts, and our uncles. Please, if you're really out there, give us a house with 2 big bedrooms for each one of us. And if you're really out there, please, if you're out there, and if you're really out there, give us lots of money too. May it be so. He ended with a serious and focused countenance. Sayith looked at him in shock. Dude, what was that? What? The name prayer itself means asking, no? You're the one who told me that. I'm simply praying for what we obviously need the most. Okay, next time, maybe try to start with Thanksgiving, alright? Thank him for what? For leaving us homeless and all alone? For breaking our hearts? For ruining our lives? How about for sparing our lives? For Rush and Desi's company? That we still have each other. I know we lost a lot, man. But we're blessed in more ways than you can imagine. Sure, whatever. Man, I don't want to pray anymore. We gotta get moving anyway. It's not like talking to some invisible being who's gonna transport us across Verithia. Sayith kept his mouth shut, disappointed in his friend's attitude. They searched for anything of use among the rubble and climbed on Desi's back with Rosh. Sayith sat behind to maneuver his pet, while Xela sat in front to give directions, since he knew the Land of Twixten better. X, are you positive about going? I'm not positive, but I've thought about it as I don't give a rip about their wisdom, to be honest. But I've heard the Wilsets are kind and compassionate towards orphans. We'll find no love here. Like, people just see us as bastards, and people will just think we were cursed or something. Like, we got no other options, man. I agree. Wilsets might show us some charity. After an uncomfortable silence, Sayith asked, So, which way should we head? Asked Sayith. We'll head upward on the map to the city of Twintex. I heard that they invented a new system of transportation. It'll move us super quickly across Twixten land, all the way to Crobsom land. Oh, and how many days will we reach the land of Crobsom? Asked Sayith. Days? Oh yes, I got news for you. Remove the S. We'll be there in a few hours max. What? That's unheard of, remarked his Seothic friend. The days of camels and horses are coming to an end, my friend. I'm sorry, Desi. Our nation's made a technological marvel. But X, wouldn't it be better if we just cut through Frigoland? Asked Sayith. If you want to get soaked in rain and eaten by gators, be my guest. I guess Desi wouldn't like that too much. So, how does this Twixten innovation work? Basically, picture a minecart, but bigger and fancier, powered by lightning energy and tornado winds. Oh, I'm afraid Desi hates wheels and machines. She'll be fine, trust me. These things have entire compartments that can fit fully grown elephants. I don't know, X. She's the closest thing to home I got left, besides you. I want to make sure she's comfortable. I offer free goes. They're hospitable people, and we could learn resilience and patience from them. While Crobsoms, they're so uncivilized. Those are only stereotypes, Sayith. Tell you what, we'll flip a coin. Heads or tails? Tails, answered Sayith. Classic Sayith, mocked his friend. Xela tossed the coin high up in the air. Aha! Crobsoms, here we come, celebrated Xela. Ouch. I suppose we're going on some fast-paced metal wagons. Sorry, Desi. You're both gonna love it. My cousin... Xela's face turned into a frown. He told me all about it. Xela and Sayith proceeded along a straight, long dirt road in a flat and vast agricultural plain. Desi was as strong as ever, and Arash was as cute as ever. The sun was shining and skies were blue for the most part, with the exception of some fluffy white clouds. Farms surrounded them 360 degrees around. They didn't talk much, rather, they mourned in silence. Moreover, they were still fatigued due to yesterday's happenings and their early rising. Eventually, not too many hours of daylight later, the two orphan friends arrived in Twintex City. Sayith, I'm kinda hungry. How about you? You should stop to buy some food. Sure, how much gold do we have? I've got... Xela opened a small sack and counted with his tongue sticking out in between his lips. 11 socks, said Xela. It's what I found at home, plus what I already had on me, before the... How about you? I only have 3 socks, said Sayith. Oh, well, we'll make it work. Here, have a couple of mine. The two boys stopped and tied the camel by the side of a small town's main road, where there were many stores of all sorts. Meet me back here in 20 minutes? Asked Xela. Sounds good, answered Sayith. While Raj followed, Xela went shopping for clothes, food, weapons, and a bunch of unnecessary gadgets. Sayith got Desi a new blanket, concerned that she wasn't faring too well with her old worn-out one. It was a bit pricey, however. He then stumbled upon a bookstore called Twin Books. Hey, young traveler, said the old owner as Sayith walked in. Searching for anything in particular? For a Sealthick, you look like the spiritual type, am I right? Actually, yes. How'd you know? Oh, your aura, your physiognomy, your mannerisms, they give it away. So what can I do you for? I'd be interested in a copy of the book, if you got one. I have just what you need. The book vendor disappeared for a minute, then came back holding a beautiful brown leather-bound book. Here, hold it. Feel it and smell it. After a good whiff, Sayith commented, Wow, this is exactly like the one I had at home. Your family must have excellent taste. Yeah, they did. So, how much is it? This one here is relatively expensive, but I've seen it last for decades. I'd bet it's even waterproof. Maybe tornado-proof. I normally sell this for 2 socks, but for you, that'd be 1 sock. Student discount. He cackled. How's that sound, son? Deal, rejoiced Sayith. He quickly gave him a gold coin. Very well, young man. It's all yours then. Oh, and bear in mind, many transcriptions in circulation today are inferior to this one, so watch out. What do you mean? Well, I've worked in this profession since I was more or less your age. I've seen many different versions of the book. Something strange is afoot. Newer printed editions change words. Some even remove entire sentences. That's something I've noticed dealing with these books all these years. Why would anyone do such a thing? Asked Sayith with indignation. Beats me, shrugged the old man. Could be an agenda, or the love of money, as usual, perhaps. He said with a finger-pinching hand gesture. I'll keep that in mind. Thanks for the heads up, sir. No problem. Good luck to you. Sayith thought deeply about what the bookseller told him. He then reached Xela, who was waiting for him by Desi and Raj. I got tons of food and water. A couple of daggers just in case, bows and arrows, a spear for myself, clothes, armor, and toys, he said with excitement. Toys? Yeah, some games to pass the time during our trip. X, how much did you spend? I spent everything. What? Dude, we need to think ahead. Supply now so we won't have to later, explained the impulsive Twixten. Okay. Just remember, we're jobless now. Well, don't you believe the Lord's gonna provide? Said Xela. What did you get? I got a little something for Desi to make the trip more pleasant for her and for us too. Ha! You said too. What else you got? I also brought a great old version of the book. What? No food? I guess it's a good thing I worried about it then, said Xela as he bit a piece of bread. I heard there are fake transcriptions circulating, so we have an extra reason to go to Verithia. There, I'll double check to see if the book I have matches the inscriptions in the cave. Oh, okay, answered the bored Xela. Yes, how much money do you have left over? I still have 3 socks. We got nothing to worry about, man. Come on, let's head to the station and buy our tickets. A Twixten girl passed by, and Xela whistled at her. Hello, beautiful. Afterwards, Sayith and Xela went up to the ticket booth. Hello, sir? We need tickets for 2, said Xela. Where to? He answered. Actually, we also have a camel, added Sayith. A beast? That'll cost you more. Again, where to? Asked the impatient employee. As close to Crobsom land as possible, answered Xela meekly. Twixten. For you, lower class, that'll be 3 socks total. Xela and Sayith faced each other. Sayith said, Dude, we're broke. Not yet, answered Xela. He turned around towards the booth officer and said, How about a discount for some recently orphaned young nomads? Maybe in exchange for a present. Like what? Asked Xela. How about your jean jacket? How dare you? This was my dad's. Well then deal's off, pal. Wait, I have some toy. Xela pulled something out of his bag. Look at this spinny thingy. Sorry, kid. No can do. Xela turned to Sayith and whispered, Let's just pay the full price, dude. We'll figure something out later, I promise. Alright. Sayith opened his new book and held his index against the page. After all, here the book does say, Take no thought for your life, what ye shall eat, or what ye shall drink, nor yet for your body, what ye shall put on. Is not the life more than meat, and the body than raiment? Exactly. I'm starting to like the book, said Xela with a laugh. Alright, preacher boy, said the irritated cashier. Clock's ticking. If you want to board on time, hand over the money. After a moment of hesitation, Sayith gave him 3 golden coins, and they received 3 lower-class tickets to the faraway city of Twixten. All aboard, announced the speaker. Xela and Sayith shopped on a crowded cart compartment in the back with Desi. Inside, there were Twixtens in thick cloaks and a Frigo merchant with frogs in jars, a mother holding a sleeping baby, many boxes, and several animals. On their right, beyond the flat plains, they could see the tall, distant Fractish mountains. Yo, where's Raj? Whispered Sayith. Xela slowly pulled his cat out of a leather bag he brought. We couldn't risk paying any more, so I snuck him in, he said under his breath with a smile. The Twixten technological wonders started marching forward unexpectedly, making the 2 lose their balance and bumping into other passengers. Watch it, boy, shouted an older Crobsom man. Sorry, sir, said Sayith. Isn't this incredible, asked Xela. I told you, it's ether-powered. Too bad we're stuck back here. Xela pointed with his thumb and lowered his voice to say, With these shitty urbanite bums, am I right? Watch your words, X. What if they heard you? Think, he said with a concerned voice, pointing at his own head. I thought you said not to follow my thoughts. They're always changing. Yes, Sayith face-palmed. What I meant was, follow the book. I don't know about that, but I sure like that verse you quoted to that rude ticket guy. Well, I'm glad about that at least. Xela locked his eyes over Sayith's shoulders. Hey, let's sit over there. He rushed to sit with his back against the left side of the wagon. Raj purred in his lap. Sayith sat on his left, while Desi rested on the floor in front of them. They were seated in between two older Twixtens. Not very comfy, whined Xela as he tried to adjust his posture. You know what, Es? We could try sneaking up in front later, whispered Xela with a chuckle. And look at us, man. We're filthy and sweaty. No way they'd let us sit up there. Plus, we have to look after Desi. I mean, how is it that you forget about her so often? I love Desi, don't I, girl? He started petting her lovingly. She's not mine, though. Anyway, yeah, I guess we can hang back here. He agreed as he put his hands behind his head. We could play some games, chit-chat with those interesting people, sing songs, look out the window. I hope we don't see tornadoes. I'd rather read the book for a bit. My heart's a bit sorrowful, said Sayith. Full of sorrow, huh? Same. Does it have to do with yesterday? Asked Xela. Of course. Thing is, as I've been pondering, I didn't see any cadavers back home. I hear you, man. Lava engulfed my house. I saw ash everywhere. I could also smell the mess. It was awful. So he started tearing up, but he held it in. I also spotted you looking for your folk. Except for Rosh, I'm so sorry there was nobody left. That's the whole point. There were no bodies. Neither dead nor alive. Maybe that stinking tornado didn't get him. Maybe they're alive somewhere. X, no flesh can escape to catastrophes that big. My cat did. And that's the other thing. When have our areas ever been subject to sudden eruptions or tornadoes like that? Like, I understand occasionally, or in other places nearby, but the border was almost always chill where we were. We didn't even see or hear anything yesterday. Man, there's no way they could have survived those cataclysms. I understand you're grieving. I'm also devastated, but this type of nostalgic what-if wishful thinking, it's unprofitable. Well, it's not like you'd care anyway if they were alive, shouted Xela explosively, since we're all sinful and everything. What is it you said? The consequence of sin is dying. Well, not everyone dies. Some people have eternal life. For example, according to the book, I'll never die. What? Are you seriously implying you're not a sinner now? And you're contradicting yourself. Well, of course, my flesh sins, and physically, one day in the future, my body will perish. But the good news is that my spirit is saved. Spiritually, I'm sinless, I'm immortal, I'm holy. How? Asked Xela with an intrigued look. For by one offering he hath perfected forever them that are sanctified. Oh. Xela paused to reflect. I never heard it explained this way. But it's still kind of hard to grasp. It's not about understanding so much as it is about accepting. I suppose I kind of get it, said Xela with a perplexed expression. Really? That's great. The book also says you must be born again. How am I supposed to get birthed again? My mom died. No, I mean spiritually, dummy. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have everlasting life. Do you believe? Define the word believe. Let me think. Sayith conjured up an example. Oh, well, let's say I tell you I'm wearing underwear. Well, I sure hope so. No, I mean, I am wearing underwear right now. Do you believe this? Sure, why? Well, then you're a believer in me. You just have to do the same when it comes to the promise described in the book, even if you can't observe it. What promise? Asked Xela. And this is the promise that he hath promised us, even eternal life. Do you believe in this? I don't know, man. Not really. I suppose I'd like to believe, but I just don't. You do have some pretty valid points, I'll give you that. So basically, you're saying the Creator is our only Savior forever? Yet all those deaths yesterday shouldn't save our families. Will you keep it down? Complained an annoyed passenger nearby. Psst, hey buddy, whispered a bearded, middle-aged Twixten man sitting next to Sayith. Yeah, you with the black hair and the orange cap. Your friend's right, you know. I used to be just as stubborn as you, if not worse. Oh man, oh man. But deep down, I felt empty. Always wanting to be right left me miserable. Believe me, your friend over here is a treasure. Xela didn't know what to answer. Name's next, if you're wondering. I have a friend's wedding to attend in the whereabouts of Toxin. How about you two? Where are you headed? Hello, Nex. I'm Sayith, and this here's my close friend Xela. We're trying to get to Verithia. Nice. A very spirit-filled place. Glad to hear two young men like yourselves are venturing out in the world, especially to visit a more godly region. What's there for you guys? He asked, looking at the young Twixten. We want to go to the cave, answered Xela. Beautiful. Next stopped talking for a few seconds. I overheard your painful story. I'm sorry. I'll keep you and your pets in my prayers. Oh, thank you, kind sir. Likewise, said Sayith. If you don't mind me asking, Mr. Nex, what made you change your mind and soften your heart? Truth be told, my wife. He smiled. Living with her, I learned to value charity above knowledge. Believe it or not, charity is even more important than faith and hope. That's what she helped me realize. Sayith asked, "Is not going to your buddy's marriage with you?" Oh, she passed away a few years ago. I'm sorry, said Sayith. Oh, don't worry. I'm what they call a widower, but I'll see her again one day. Sayith looked down and nodded. Amen, he whispered. A grumpy, hunched old man sitting next to Xela said, No offense, sir, but you're wrong. I don't believe there's a God or an afterlife, and even if I did, I certainly wouldn't worship someone who let my spouse die before their time. For no God is like myself, that's an evil being, if you ask me. Xela and Sayith listened carefully to both sides. The widower said, Respectfully, sir, the being I worship laid down his life for us, that we might live through him. His sacrifice, that's an act of selfless love. Where's the scientific proof of any of this? It's always the same with you religious folk. I believe in science. Science is what counts in this world. Science is what built this fine mode of transportation you're sitting on right now. The widower didn't answer him. Heh, that's what I thought, murmured the old man with a scoff and a smirk. Sayith opened the book, indicated a verse, and whispered, The fool hath said in his heart, there is no God. And the three, including Xela, chuckled quietly. The old proud grump didn't hear a thing. Next borrowed the book, flipped the pages ahead. He then showed them a verse that said, Answer not a fool according to his folly, lest thou also be like unto him. Xela and Sayith both looked up at him, nodding with respect. Suddenly, an announcement blared from the speakers. Ladies and gentlemen, no need to panic. There's a tornado approaching us. We will deploy the anti-tornado protection system. You have nothing to worry about. Nobody panic. Everyone in the room remained calm, but at the sound of those words, Xela started freaking out. Oh my goodness, Sayith, he panicked. Tornado, what if, I don't wanna die. My family, I don't know where I'm gonna go if I die. I'm so afraid, Sayith. Sayith, super chill, placed a hand on his shoulder and reassured his best friend. Hey, don't worry, man. Xela looked out of the window and froze at the sight of the funnel cloud violently approaching the wagon. He shut his eyes and prayed, while Xela admired the scene with open eyes. Then, without warning, a luminous ether-powered shield was activated all around. The energy blasts emitted were able to ward off that infernal storm, creating a flashy spectacle outside. Wow! See, man? Said Sayith calmly. Nothing to worry about. Xela peeked out with one eye, then opened the other. Before he knew it, he could see clear skies. The whole transport had successfully survived the gray whirlwind. Pfft, said the old atheist man. A Twixten who's afraid of tornadoes? What next? When I was your age, I would ride on them. Oh, what I'd give to be young again. Next said, I've worked on these energy-based mechanisms. The bolts of power wrapped the entire convoy with a protective dome. Thankfully, Twixtenland is mostly a flat country. Naturally, we get tons of tornadoes, but at least the surface allows for straight, level railways and ether power. Interesting, commented Xela. The grumpy old man next to Xela said, Don't listen to that.
The Earth's surface is not flat, it's curved. Haven't you heard? You're misinforming these young minds.
Nex ignored his remarks. A few minutes later, Xela turned to Sayith and whispered, "How embarrassing, bro. I totally lost it before. Even the ballast made fun of me." "No, man," said Sayith. "I don't blame you for getting scared. You lost your family to that stuff. I wish we could have used this ether stuff back at home," said Xela. "Yeah, me too." Afterwards, Sayith and Desi yawned and drifted into a slumber. Xela and his cat, too, calmed down and fell asleep. "Hey, wake up, you two," said Nex gently. "We're here." Sayith opened his eyes. The vehicle wasn't moving anymore. Xela kept on snoring with his mouth open, facing up. Sayith shook him decisively and woke him up. "What?" he complained. "X, we're in Twixten. Come on, let's go." Xela stretched his limbs and yawned loudly. After gathering all their belongings, the three passengers stepped out with their two pets. Sayith stood next to Desi as she let Nex pet her and said, "Hey, Mr. Nex, it was nice to meet you. Thanks for everything." "Oh, don't mention it. Pleasure's all mine." He looked at the time. "Well, I got an event to attend, so I have to run. I wish you for all the best on your quest. God bless." "Bye, sir," waved Xela with Raj on his left shoulder. "Bye, Xela. Bye, Sayith." Next went on his way and disappeared among the crowd. Let's go see the city," said Xela with enthusiasm. Sayith shivered. "It's way colder here than I expected." "I've got just what you need." Xela stuck a hand in his bag and retrieved a folded dark blue coat. He handed it over to his shivering friend. "Thanks," he said with a shaky voice as he put it on. "I knew shopping in Twintex would prove useful," smiled Xela. Sayith, Desi, Raj, and Xela walked together in the city of Twixten. The citizens admired Desi, while the orphan friends admired the scenery around. Buildings, gardens, cathedrals, stores, ancient stonework, channels, bridges, ether-powered lampposts, and a peculiar system of transport on the roads. "What is that?" said Sayith. "No way! Those are ether-powered wagons! Dang, I wish we could drive one." The sky turned pinkish as the orange sun started setting over the mountains. "X, we better find some place to lodge tonight, else we'll freeze out here," said Sayith with a hat and a pair of gloves on. "You Seothics are way too sensitive to cold. Either that or it's just a psychological thing. Desi looks fine to me, don't she, big girl?" he said with a baby voice as he touched her affectionately. A light bulb turned on inside his noggin. "Yo, Desi can make us a buck." "What? What do you mean?" asked Sayith with suspicion. "Well, look at all these people here. They seem to love her. All we gotta do is charge those who want to pet her." "I don't know, X. Desi might not like that. It's not like she's some zoo animal or some circus freak. Can't you just resell some of the junk you bought?" "Junk? Oh, come on, S. We're 100% broke. We need that stuff. This is our only shot at a good night's sleep. Just a little sacrifice on her part, and we'll even be able to buy our tickets to Wils's land." Well, alright then," responded Sayith reluctantly. As evening approached and street lamps turned on, Xela got creative. He wrote, "Pet a camel for a quarter sock," on a piece of scrap wood he found lying nearby. The orphan stood on the sidewalk, getting attention from many passerbyers. Xela was enthusiastic. "Folk, gather round! This here is an exotic animal, straight out of the desert of Seothic itself. For the price of only 1/4, you may pet this beauty of creation," he announced to a small crowd that formed in the street. Above all, families with children were interested in petting Desi. One by one, the little ones came to touch her, while Xela cashed in from parents, and Desi enjoyed the affection. Sai stood there quietly, coldly observing those around with vigilant eyes and serious eyebrows. At a certain point, a pale man with a black hat and dark shades approached them. "Why, hello there, young men. May I pet it?" he asked awkwardly, with a nasal voice. "Yes," said Xela, "for a quarter of a sock," he concluded. "Here you are." He put his hand forward quickly. And the camel got a look at the man. As he lifted his arm to touch her, she started getting agitated. Desi, calm down, girl, whispered Xela as he held her leash tightly. Sorry, sir, he chuckled nervously. She gets uneasy sometimes. Sayith immediately stepped in. X, that's enough! You got enough money, he said angrily. The mysterious stranger lowered his hand and told Xela. It's okay, young man. After an eerie smile, he asked, May I propose something interesting? He hissed. I am in need of a travel companion for my business. Could I advance an offer to you? Sure. What is it? Asked Xela with a weirded out look. I'd like to buy this fine creature for 100 socks, answered the man. 100 socks, answered Xela. Absolutely not. She's not for sale, shouted Sayith. Xela turned around. Yes, 100 socks is a lot. No, that's enough. Sayith immediately grabbed Desi and stormed off away from Xela and the rest of the spectators. Xela rushed towards him. Es, where are you going? Sayith replied as he walked. We're leaving. Why? We're making so much money. Because I can't believe you would seriously consider selling Desi, yelled Sayith. I'm just saying, 100 socks is a lot. Obviously, I'm not gonna give her that creepy weirdo. Well, I need some time away from all these people. I need to sit down alone and read the book a little while with Desi by my side. Oh, come on, S. We don't want to get lost or separated. With all these socks, we can sleep somewhere decent tonight. I'd rather sleep in the mud with my friend than a fancy bed without love. But you said you're cold, said Xela. I'll see you here tomorrow, X. Desi and Sayith walked through a dark alleyway, while Xela and Raj, on his shoulder, watched them fade away. What have I done? He told his cat. Xela turned around and jumped. Ah! The man from before was standing right behind him. Sorry, young one. Didn't mean to scare you two. What are you doing here? Asked Xela with fear. I live close by. You look a little down, he pointed out. Yeah, I have a little something that could help. He took a bottle out of his coat. A juice that drowns sorrow and causes bravery and happiness. Really? Asked Xela with a lure. Why, yes, replied the stranger. A few sips of this drink, and you'll forget your pain. Could I taste it? Said Xela. I could sell it to you for 1 sock. Okay. Xela gathered some coins together and grabbed the bottle. It's all yours, grinned the merchant. Xela went in the alleyway and sat down with Raj by a wall in the dark. His eyes were crying and his hands were shaking as he tried to open the bottle. Once he finally did, he started drinking from it. Xela thought to himself, this tastes disgusting, but doesn't all medicine? After finishing his beverage, he started feeling warm and fuzzy. The pain was gone and Xela forgot about his tears. He then stood up and couldn't even walk straight. His head started spinning and spinning. He sat back down, feeling completely drained. He told himself, maybe the earth does spin after all. After sitting there with his back against the wall in a catatonic state for a few minutes, he barfed all over himself. Raj quickly moved out of the way. I'm an idiot. I'm a stupid strong drinkist, slurred Xela in pain. He crouched on his side and fell asleep next to his vomit. The next morning, Sayith found him lying there on the floor. Oh no, X, he said with concern as he rushed towards him. He sat there next to Desi and Raj, waiting for his friend to wake up. Once he did, Sayith ministered unto him. Hey man, have some water. S, oh my, I puked everywhere, man. I'm such a mess. I hate myself. He started crying. Oh, don't worry, man. You're still angry with me. I wouldn't blame you. No, X, I was yesterday, but I'm not anymore. Things like this can happen, especially after you've lost so much. Next time, consider this. The love of money is the root of all evil, which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. Come on, let's get you cleaned up. Good thing you bought those brand new garments, right? Sayith helped his buddy stand up. Many sorrows. Oh, Sayith, I feel gross. My head's killing me. Like it's gonna explode, he whined. Sayith picked up a bottle from the floor next to Xela. X, where'd you get this poison from? Who gave it to you? That creep from yesterday. The guy that wanted to buy Desi. Shoot, I'm sorry for leaving you alone like that. The animals and the two young men started walking down the main street and walked into a public park. Xela washed himself with the water of a fountain and put on new clothes. He sat down. I'm so foolish, as I bet the creator also thinks that. Well, you're not entirely wrong. The book says that wine is a mocker, strong drink is raging. Whosoever is deceived thereby is not wise. Nonetheless, his strength is made perfect in weakness. I'm getting roasted by a book. Yep, we all do, smiled Sayith. The book exposes us and our flaws. It reveals how sinful we are. However, when I sin, I remember this verse. Neither do I condemn thee. Go and sin no more. Oh man, sin, death, hell. I told you it's all so negative. That's one part of it, commented Sayith. I'm such a failure. I guess you don't have to hate yourself. It's normal to feel shame and guilt. But here's the positive thing. There is therefore now no condemnation to them which are in the Maker. Really? Well, how can I be in him? Very simple, X. Sayith opened the book. It says here, he that believeth on him is not condemned. But he that believeth not is condemned already, because he hath not believed in the name of the only begotten Son of God. So I just have to believe? Exactly. After turning a couple pages, he continued, Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that heareth my word, and believeth on him that sent me, hath everlasting life, and shall not come into condemnation, but is passed from death unto life. Whoa, this sounds like good news. Indeed, it's the best, answered Sayith. You know what? I guess I've realized I can't really trust myself anymore. I thought the metal socks and the toxic liquid would help me. I confided in a wicked merchant. Now, from now on, I'll try to put my faith in the book like you. Dude, that's amazing. So you still believe you're condemned? No. I heard what you preached, and I believed. Amen! Then you, my friend, officially have eternal life. Sayith hugged Xela tightly as they stood next to the running water. Xela hugged him back. Desi put her head next to theirs, while Raj playfully walked in between their legs. The world makes us enemies, but the blood makes us family, whispered Sayith. After a long hug, the team left the park and got on the road. The sun was shining on the right as they left Twixten and headed towards the land of the Crobsoms. So how are you feeling now? Asked Sayith as he sat behind Xela on Desi. Forgiven, he said with Raj in his hands. Man, look, we've crossed the border. Yeah, so where should I steer Desi? Straight ahead, we're gonna go to Gribben. They have a port on the asphalt. Sounds like a plan. Sayith sang beautifully while Xela whistled skillfully. After walking all day, the sun started setting. Let's stop here, Xela said as he pointed at a diner along the road. Okay. Cheer up, man. Crobsoms are fun. Come on, we'll have a good meal and a good night's sleep in there. Say, where'd you sleep last night? Were you cold? I slept on a bench in that park. Desi's surprisingly warm. The clothes you gave me, they also helped. I owe you, X. Nah, don't mention it. I owe you. The team tied Desi outside by some contained water for cattle. Then they stepped inside, Crobsom music was playing loudly, people were talking over each other and eating with little regard for manners. A man suddenly spit in a bucket next to Said's foot. What'd I tell you, man? I think I'd rather fast today, commented Said with a low voice. Man, we need some food. Our metabolism works way faster in the cold, and you saw my hurl on the floor this morning. Okay, fine. Hey there, strangers, said a blonde Crobson waitress. How many are you? We're two, answered Xela. There's a table right there. Be with you in a jiffy. The two sat down. Ain't this great, S? Let's see what's on the menu. Xela looked up at a board hanging on the wall with food items and beverages. These crops are sure right funny. I mean, look at how they spell. Sayith grumbled. He turned around and read, "Liquid bread? That sounds abominable." I didn't know you were so stingy, bro. No, I'm usually not, but this people's cuisine leaves much to be desired. Hold on, they also have... Xela squinted his eyes. Frog smoothies. Yuck. But wait, they have sheep. I used to love that back home. Alright, I'm willing to try that. Yay! Also get a bean pie. The waitress came back. Here's some water on the house. It wasn't entirely transparent. So, she took out a pen and some paper. What do you two foreigners have? We'll share a big portion of sheep skewers, ma'am. Great choice. Tourists love that. Anything else on the side? Oh yeah, almost forgot. I like the bean pie. The two friends received their meal. Sayith gently reminded his friend to say grace. After, they ate their food without speaking much in the process. Xela stood up to pay. The bill was cheap. Hey, yes, you should have seen the price. I also managed to secure a room with 2 beds for the night. Thank you, X. The next day, they woke up and got breakfast immediately. They saw the same waitress from yesterday there. Hello again. How'd you two sleep? She said. Great, answered Xela with a toothy smile. What would you all like today? Some eggs would be fabulous. How'd you like them cooked? Surprises, said Xela. After a few minutes, the woman came back with 2 plates. Following Sayith's prayer, the two enjoyed their meal. So, how's everything? She asked. This is delicious. What kind of chickens do you raise here? Chickens? These are platypus eggs, she chuckled proudly. Sayith dropped his fork and twitched while Xela's mouth and eyes opened wide. Oh, wow, answered Xela. Glad you like him, answered the waitress with a smile before she vanished to serve other tables. Alright, dude, let's get out of here. I've had enough weird food for the day, but I'm gonna leave her a good tip, said Xela. Finally, relieved Sayith as he stood up. Sayith fed Desi, and they got on the dirt road. Along the way, they ate some of the food Xela had bought in Twintex. After a long day out, they almost reached what they called the upper seashore. How long till Ribbit? Asked Sayith. Not too long, according to my map, answered Xela. How many socks do we have left? Not too many. Then I say we should sleep outdoors tonight. We can set up camp over there. Oh, really, yes? I know. Let's flip a coin. I suppose that after all, the lot is cast into the lap, but the whole disposing thereof is of the Lord, remarked Sayith. Precisely. I'ma choose heads. Xela flipped the coin. Outdoors it is. Yeah, now that's what I'm talking about. The sun set and darkness followed. The moon shined bright in the night sky. Sayith made a campfire and set up 2 tents. They ate, laughed, and read the book. Then they fell asleep peacefully after praying together. The next morning they got up at dawn. After riding Desi through Crobsom land all morning, the two eventually reached a sea village filled with loud Crobsoms, parting and waving. See, X, I told you. They're practically animals. He paused a second. No offense, Desi, he told her with a soothing voice. Oh, come on, S, you're overreacting. They're just having fun. After scrutinizing the port, he said, Hey, yes, I think I see a ship we can get on. We've got more than enough socks after Toxin. So then Sayith stopped on a pier next to a man with ginger hair and green eyes, who was busy tying the vessel's ropes. Before they could even open their mouths, the Navisco asked them, What do you 2 rascals want? We're trying to get to the land of Wilsets, said Xela. You 2 alone? And our pets, sir, added Sayith. Beasts? No way! Not on my watch! Sir, they're very well behaved. Are you sure you can't make an exception? Asked Sayith from behind. You kidding me? That camel's yours? Not even for 100 socks I'd let that filthy thing on my boat. He's shitting as we speak, he said as he looked straight at Desi. Come on, Ez, let's try that boat over there, said Xela angrily. The 2 pets and their respective caregivers approached another ship in the vicinity. Desi got close to the owner. The Crobsom captain didn't pet her or acknowledge her much, yet she begged for his attention. Desi seems to like him, noted Xela.
Yeah.
Answered Sayith with a hint of grumpy jealousy. Hello, sir, said Xela. We're looking for a ride to Wilseth Land. Any chance you'd take us and our animals? Yeah, sure, no problem. However, before heading to Wilseth Land, I gotta drop off some cargo in the city of Kolb. It's a slight delay. It's not too far off the way. Always in Crobsom Land. How does that work for you? Absolutely. How much do we need to pay you? Answered Xela. Oh, nothing. Welcome aboard the floating turtle. The boat left not too long after. Sayith and Xela sat outside, admiring the waves in the sea. It was a sight they weren't used to that much. Nausea starting knocking at their doors. Xela said, I'm gonna feel sick. He ran to put his head over the rim and threw up. Not again, he whined. Sayith wasn't too comfortable either. Unlike his usual self, he complained and crouched. Oh, these Crobsoms, this salty water's getting me soaked. I hope you don't mind, Desi, he said as she sat there calmly, licking the few drops she could get a hold on. Oh, Desi, this water's not meant to be drunk. Only a Crobsom would drink this filth. After a bit, they docked in the city. The captain came out a second. Okay, fellers, we'll unload some merchandise now. You have about an hour in case you want to stock up in town for food, etc. Xel and Sayith stepped off together with Desi and Raj. No cribbin' way! Is that an actual camel? Asked a surprised and friendly-looking blonde Crobsom holding a surfboard. Yeah, said Sayith. Yes, asked Xela simultaneously. Hi, I'm Crib. Hey, I'm Xela. This here's my dear friend, Sayith. A Twixten, a seal thick, a camel, and a cat, too? Almost sounds like a joke. What in the world are y'all doing in Kolb? We're trying to get to Wilsathia. How about you? Asked Xela. Same. See those two redheads boarding the ship over there? They're friends of mine. I'm an orphan, but I'll be with them from now on. Orphan? Us too, answered Xela with bewilderment. Wow. Another thing in common. Well, pleasure to meet you. I'd better get settled in and reach my buddies. See you guys later? Yeah, for sure, answered Xela. We're gonna be right back. See you on board. Awesome. I can't wait, said Crib. The end.